Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorial of advanced account forecasting in Salesforce Manufacturing Cloud. So this tutorial I am focusing on how this different configuration has been set up in Salesforce advanced account forecasting and its object in the backend, and there is a processing engine, how it works and how it's shown in the UI. So this is a very quick tutorial. I decided to do this because when I started learning and tried to implement, I came to know that the tutorial or trailhead or the documents are very high level. It's not that easy to understandable. So I thought I will do a quick video tutorial so it helps you whoever want to learn it and try to experiment or work on this advanced account forecasting in Salesforce Manufacturing Cloud. So before we jump into detail about advanced account forecasting, let's talk very quickly and what is the difference between account forecasting and advanced account forecasting. So advanced account forecasting has the power of more customization, whereas account forecasting has defined at that entire organization level. So one forecasting where you define and it will be visible across all the account in the organization. Whereas advanced account forecasting, you can define multiple advanced account forecasting in this in one instance, and you can define different measures, different dimensions, different contacts. All these things can be defined based on your requirement. For example, you want to create an advanced account forecasting based on a particular account, based on context of account, you can define. Or if you want to context is based on the location, territory, all these things can be done in advanced account forecasting. So it's more flexible, easily configurable, and it is not entire organization level. Whereas account forecasting is very straightforward. You define it and it is work for across organization. Okay, next I want to talk about the key objects in the advanced account forecasting. So there are three key objects. This is one of the object advanced account forecast set users. This is one key object, and then you also might be seen advanced account forecast set partner. And another key object is I go to here advanced account forecast effect object. So these are the three key objects as a part of advanced account forecasting. There are a few other objects at the backend, but I will go through these three objects as of now. So because these three are the key objects. Don't worry about set partner. It's not using in advanced account forecasting now since 23 summer release, I hope. But right now it is using set users. If almost same. Partner was an old object. So it's not a depreciated, but it is not using now. It's kept it because it's used for who are the old organization. They are using this one. So but set uses the new object which is used for uh, all the upcoming or current advanced account forecasting set configuration. And you need to define this object or that engine will automatically create. So it's basically a junction object between forecast context. Here you can define any context. Its context is here an account which is Acme partner right now, and forecast set, advanced account forecast set. I will come to that. Advanced forecast set is something we are defining at the setup side as a configuration setup side. And this is basically a junction object. And if you look at here, as come to here and you come to your forecast set you define, set use you define, and there is where you will see your advanced account forecasting here. Okay, so this is one of the advanced account forecasting I created in the system, and this is how it look like. Okay, so shows what contest it is and for what forecast set it is, and different different grouping categories, one grouping, product is grouping, and different measures here, and its value and across different month. And yeah, this is different month. This is how it's high level. Set partner, as I said, set partner don't further about now. It is an old object. And fact object, this is another key object. So if you see here, right, I have this is where this Acme partner advanced account AAF set AB is the set I created, set use record I created here. This one. So this set record is I created. So all this record, all this data showing is coming from these 24 records. These 24 records. So there is a data processing engine which actually calculate
value for different months value that is stored here. So basically when the data processing engine runs, it is store the data into advanced forecast fact object, and this table or this page shows the value in this tabular format based on the configuration setup in the forecast set.
Okay, now let's focus on the configuration part of advanced account forecasting. So if you come to manufacturing section, you will see advanced account forecasting. This is the section. Basically, you need to enable it, and once you enable, you will see three tabs. One is forecast set, dimension, and period group. So let's start with period group. Period group is nothing but you need to mention what is the frequency of display, forecast display. It is type is monthly or quarterly or yearly, and then duration, total duration, how many months of data you need to show in the forecast display, and what is the start period of that display duration. So example, start period is 6 months from now for this my forecast set definition. So that is like I'm in November now, so 6 months from November is May. 6 months before from November is May, so this is 6 months May, and display duration is 24. It's 24 months data is showing, so 25 May to April 27. So it's 24 months data is showing, and it is monthly obviously, and you need to make sure that I activate it. And then other tab, dimension. Dimension is nothing but a field we are creating and its respective object. For example, you want the dimension as a product, and you select the product name, create a dimension with the name of product, and create the select that object, source object of that dimension. It's a product object, and category is category object, or it's a location, then location object, something like that. So you need to create it. So dimension in this advanced forecasting is nothing but grouping the field. So in a typical in a normal report, right, you can group a report based on different fields, so that exactly dimension is doing. So if you come back, if you look at do this my advanced account forecasting, two dimension, one is category and another one is product. So it's this data is grouped with the category and then product. Since I don't have a lot of product and category, it's showing only one product and its category. So dimension is the one, and then you need to create a forecast set. As you can see, multiple forecast set you can create based on the business requirement, which contains different type of contacts, dimensions, metrics, all these things. So the one which I am using for this advanced account forecasting is this one. As you can see, forecast set, advanced account forecast set is the one which I am using here. So advanced account forecast set. So it's inactive, and I just clicked edit, and there are different sections here. Key thing is building block. The period group, whatever you define in the first tab, the third tab, you need to select here, and the fact object, right, with this is the fact object for advanced account forecasting that you need to select here. And so you can see there are multiple fact object. It is, if you are doing for advanced account forecasting, you have to set this one. These are different other manufacturing forecasts. For program based forecasting, these are the different fact object. So earlier it is only supported advanced account forecasting, and the framework is still named as advanced account forecasting, but it is now supports multiple other type of forecasting. So you need to select advanced account forecasting fact object, and then mapping. So next is you need to select these fields in the fact object to that grid layout. What are the fields it's mapped here? So account context, from this account ID is the context here, so that need to be mentioned. If quantity, right, this quantity is mapped with the forecast quantity, and forecast revenue is mapped with the forecast claim. So like that you have to map it here. Forecast set, this is another key thing. And so as I said, right, we have multiple object for forecast set and forecast set user, sorry, forecast set user and forecast set partner. You need to select forecast set user. If you are selecting partner, you need to change that data processing engine, that out of box data processing engine is using set, and you need to select that one. So context, you can select account ID, which is the one direct out of box DP support. But if you are selecting product ID category, you need to clone that out of box DP, and you need to update to reflect the product ID category. That is mapping and forecast frequency. Forecast frequency is nothing but how often you need frequently you need to calculate this forecast, and how frequently you need to roll over the frequency. Roll over the frequency in the sense right now it is showing this 24 month, right, starting on May, and when you want to change this from June to next 24 months, that is either you can put it in yearly, quarterly, or monthly, and calculation is every month it will calculate. Okay, and then processing engine definition. So there are multiple DPE based on this triggering point. For example, if you want to generate, you have to call this generate account forecast, and if you are say rollover, you need to call the rollover account forecast, recalculate and recalculate, regenerate it. Suppose any of these configurations change, and then you need to regenerate it, right? So that forecast frequency change, or some mapping change, or period change, then you need to regenerate. Then this is the forecast DPE you need to invoke. And dimension, so whatever dimension we defined in the dimension tab, you can select any of the store dimension, and you can mention that the order, first order is category and second order is product. So I can see first is category here, and then is product, so the order you can mention here. And then measure, you can create some of the fields as a measure, give it a name for what field you need to do here. Maybe you have some custom field, or out of box some field you can put, for example, opportunity quantity, and you say that this is a quantity full, what is the calculation, so this is a minimum or maximum, some or average, whatever it is. You have to mention the calculation type and calculation method, whether it's a batch process means data processing engine will calculate when running it, or it's a manual enter, then you can mention it enter, and at the same time you can enable its tracking adjustment, whether it's trackable or not, and then you can also set it as a formula. Okay, that can be done. So these are the values. This is a calculated value. It's not a forecasted value. These are the calculated measure value, which you can see here. One, two, three fields. These last two are the forecasted value based on the accounts, current sales agreement, order, or product, uh, contract, all these things. Okay. And measure group is nothing but you can group this measurement in different names. If you see here, we have three measure values, so you can group it here, measure group, right? So default has all these three. So if it is revenue measure, you will see only two. So if you look at here, revenue has two fields. It's not a default, but default is the default value, two fields. So what are the two fields I selected is showing here. So if you look at edit this revenue, you can see I selected only two, sales agreement plan and opportunity, sales agreement plan and opportunity revenue. So these two fields will show here. Adjustment period is nothing but sometimes the account manager or sales managers have some additional information about the forecasted value, and he think that this is the value DPE generate is not matching, or not a good enough, or good not a good number, then he can update. So we are setting here this forecast can be updated during this period, every month, in the first 5 days, by this profile, system administrator or account manager or sales manager profile. So you can set it can be set at profile level, not at user level. So yeah. So next come the key thing, forecast formula. So these two fields are calculated based on the formula here. So you need to find the formula required for your organization, your company, and then that formula can be different. You can select whatever field in the forecast and then put it here, and you can do calculation period. And one thing is you can set the period. For example, first 5 months is this is the formula, and next 5 months is this is the formula. You can put it. So make sure that you can have one formula for a period, and you cannot have multiple formula for a period, right? 1 month for example, you cannot have multiple formula for the month of January 26, and yeah, same way, cannot have multiple formula for, so it should be only one formula. Same way quantity also you need to find the formula and put it. So finally, based on all these values, DP calculate all other values from different object, so after filtering and then some kind of join, then kind of mapping, all those things, and those, and that value um, can be used to generate the quantity. So you can say that sales agreement multiplied by sales agreement for this month and multiplied by 2, or so that might be the my quantity you are forecasting next month quantity forecasting, or something like that. You can, or revenue, you can say this is current quantity multiplied by 1000, that is maybe your revenue. You can put that kind of formula, put it in revenue and quantity. Okay, that is pretty much about data processing engine forecast set, sorry, not data processing, forecast set configuration. And as you see, you can create as much as forecast set here and use it, and then you activate it. Okay, now let's talk about little bit on data processing engine. I was telling that in my previous explanation, right? Data processing engine, DPE, all these things. So Salesforce out of box provides multiple data processing engine as a template. For example, generate account forecasting. This is a template, as you can see, is a template. Recalculate account forecast, regenerate rollover account. So these four advanced account forecast type templates are provided. You need to create your own account forecasting, or just clone it from the template and activate it. So this is one of the DPE process engine. I cloned it from generate account forecast. So if you open it, and you can run it, and if you want any modification, you can do it, but this one is just a cloned version of standard one and activated, and you can run it using manually, or this can be run it using a trigger or a flow or something like that. So just run it, and I'm running it manually, and just run it in a debug mode. Select this one, and then you need to enter that account ID. Okay, so for me, account ID, I'm just finding that account ID. So I'm selecting that account is Salesforce ID here, and then forecast set ID. So this is my forecast set ID, nothing but this forecast set ID. So this I think I showed in previous set, right? This forecast set, this is a forecast set ID, right? So that is focus set. You can find it here, whatever you created, right? That need to be selected, and you can run it, and you can select the node. Yes, basically show what is happening on this node, and run definition, and then you can monitor it, right? Monitoring. So if you look at my Salesforce workflow monitor, you can see this one still not started, just triggered it. So started. So if I come here, it will take time, sometimes, sorry, 5 10 minimum, and average 10, depends upon the data you have. So it's just started. So previous one it took 6 to 7 minutes, right? 45 to, yeah, it's 7 minutes. This is very basic, no much data. As you can see, forecast has no data here. So this instance don't have a data, it's a developer instance. So if you're running in a production or your UAT instance, it may take more than 10 minutes. So an average 10 to 15 minutes it will take, and calculate. Basically, it's do all this. It's not a simple one. It has a lot of extraction, a lot of filtering, merging, all these things happen, and then it does the calculation and put it in the forecast fact object. And then finally, once done, you can refresh the grid, forecast grid, and see this data in a tabular format, whatever in the forecast set fact object. So that is what, then you can see what is happening each node, right? This has a lot of nodes, right? These are different nodes: extraction, extracting and filtering, and some kind of merging. So the task, it will be listed here, and it will show what is the status, and what is it start time, end time, how many records, failure, and total failed record. All this failed write back records. All this data will be shown here. Okay, so once that done, data will be showed here. So that's pretty much my quick overview of advanced account forecasting, and hope this helps you also.